So everyone, I want to welcome everyone to the show. Wendy Cripe. She's actually an aspiring stand-up comedian. She's going to do some stand-up jokes for us.
No.
So let's hear what you got to say.
What's brown and sticky?
What?
A stick.
A stick.
I was thinking something completely different.
There we go.
That's my only joke.
You know, Jim Gaffigan's from here.
Oh.
He's from Indiana. And he always, in his stand-up community, he's always like, oh, yeah. And it's like how like all these different states have like different slogans. And it's like the slogan for Indiana should be, we're from Indiana and we're going to move.
Oh.
But I will tell you this, though. I'm serious. Oh. The more I spend time here, the more I'm realizing it's like Indiana is Tiki Central.
It's a nice place.
Yeah.
We like it.
Yeah, you showed me around. It's a lot of nice neighborhoods, a lot of beautiful houses, and there's a lot of tiki going on here.
A fair amount.
Yeah.
It's building, like everywhere else.
We've got a lot of friends with home bars.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And we have the Inferno Room.
How long have you two been into tiki?
Well, didn't you say it kind of started with the car shows?
Yeah.
He's got one that's been in the family and one that he bought in his 20s.
So what did you say? That was a 1974 Mustang 2, right?
No. You're totally wrong.
Did you ever see those cars? Remember those cars? My uncle had one, and we drove from Pennsylvania down to Walt Disney World. And then you find out it's actually the platform of a Ford Pinto. It's the same body, except it's like a Mustang. 4 cylinders, terrible.
No, he's got a 62 Cadillac.
Yeah, I bought
It's
it.
black.
I don't know how old I was. I was in my 40s. 30s. I don't know.
Late 20s, I bet.
No.
Okay.
It'd be wrecked if it was in my 20s.
And a 1939 Ford that's been in the family.
Yeah.
So we would take him to car shows, and, you know, they have little vendors and whatnot, and you'd see tiki decor around. And
Then we went to, right when we first got together, we went to Viva Las Vegas.
Mm.
And
You guys have been to Viva Las Vegas?
Yeah, I've been twice, but
I've
we
been
went to
once.
Frankie's, and it was like the very first time we tasted a Mai
Yeah.
Tai correctly.
Was that your first tiki bar?
Yeah,
It was Frankie's.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
What did you think of it?
I forgot. I loved it. It's awesome.
She wanted to start a 1950s town.
I did. It was like Rockabillyville, and everyone looked so beautiful.
Yeah, that was yeah.
So, I don't know. For me, I've been into vintage most of my life. My parents were antique dealers, and we were kind of poor. So I grew up going to Goodwill and miscellaneous thrift stores, and I remember picking up old records. I have one of like Marlena Dietrich and all the big band records, and I remember being a teenager and flipping through magazines that girls, teenage girls like to look at, like Vogue and whatever. And occasionally there would be an ad or a model or something that had kind of that pinup look, and I was just always drawn to it. And then when I was a teenager, I wore lots of vintage clothes and curled my hair, and I'd wear them with combat boots. And I didn't, I'd have my beautiful vintage dress with my combat boots. And I thought I was being original.
You're being punk rock, I guess.
And unique. Well, because I was
would you go?
punk.
No, hold on. Did you go to like a lot of punk rock shows or something like that? And it's like that way people wouldn't step on your shows.
When I was like preteen, yeah.
And if someone gave you a hard time, you always kick them.
So I don't know. I feel like it's an evolution into tiki.
Yeah.
It's like soon you realize that it was because I love the 50s style, music, fashion, kitchen, clothing, hair, jewelry, makeup. And he pointed out that I didn't even know that I was rockabilly because I did the whole vintage thing, and I didn't realize there was a whole subculture. And we went to Viva Las Vegas, and here's all these people.
You're like, why is everyone dressed up like me?
And it was kind of a shock. I'm a small town girl.
No, it's small town, but you're from Indianapolis.
Well, it's kind of small.
In
a way.
It's a city. It's a big.
I've been to bigger cities.
It's a big ass city. No, wait, there's bigger.
But we get into tiki, right? We're talking about tiki.
As far as tiki bars are concerned, in Indianapolis, going throughout the years, there really wasn't too many. I mean, there was the one that you took me to, like the remnants of it. Was it the Mai Tai? What was it called?
Mai Tai.
The Mai Tai
Literally the Mai Tai, and it's like, and there isn't even that much information on it.
Right. I can't find any photos or anything, but we have like looking for photos for that. We have found that there was some. I don't know if it's 30s or 40s. There was one called Tiki Ho, and then there was another one, I believe, the Bamboo Room. Mm-hmm. And then there was a club, the Aloha Lounge.
Yeah.
And I found out that was a strip club over by the old baseball, on 16th Street, over by the baseball field.
Well,
So there wasn't like a Trader Vic's here or like a Don Beach or anything like that.
Mm-mm.
Sports.
So you guys kind of like start getting. So you guys literally got into tiki on your own, kind of just discovering it piece by piece on your own.
Yeah,
Right.
we moved in together, and he had just a small handful of tiki mugs and
Yeah, like 5 tiki mugs and a tiki
and a large tiki.
and then a wooden.
And at first,
bamboo.
I admit, I was kind of like, okay, Actually, our mantle looked like voodoo lounge or something because he had like a
skull.
a skull
A book
with
that
a
was
candle on it.
a false book that you can open up and put stuff in.
A freeze-dried piranha.
Yeah, not knowing that this would.
Oh yeah, and
that you'd have your own home
taxidermied
tiki
frog
bar.
playing a guitar, and just all this weird stuff, And then there's the tiki mugs, and he wants to line them up in the kitchen, and I'm just
they're on the top shelf of the kitchen.
And you're like,
we just moved in together, and so I'm trying to be easygoing about it. But then I don't know what happened. Somehow we got more and more into tiki, and then we kind of learned that it was such a popular thing to do when you lived in the 50s, especially like old Hollywood glamour would go.
Yeah, I built a tiki bar in the basement.
Luau restaurant in California, and you just really realize how much it ties into the whole.
as far as so when you guys were getting into tiki, was there anyone else in Indianapolis that was into tiki, or anyone that you know of? Or?
Yeah.
Well, at the time we didn't.
Yeah,
really know
we didn't
anybody.
know. Right, we didn't know anybody.
And so somehow we figured out the Hukilau, right?
Yeah.
So we went down to the Hukilau.
Yeah, we put on
Fort
like
Lauderdale.
these clothes, and we're like, oh god.
Oh my God,
we had to
yeah.
walk across the street, and we're like, oh god. I go, this is kind of punk rock, Wendy, because
Yeah.
everybody's like looking
Everyone's
at us
looking
and
at
slowing
you,
down,
kinda
and looking
weird.
at it. But we were like the very first time. I'm used to wearing black shirts, black pants.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
just
the
like
same.
And we
way.
go and we had such a good time, It's fun to go to the events because you're so immersed in it.
Mm-hmm.
Just everything, the clothes, the jewelry, the drinks, the decor, the people.
Yeah.
Just, you can totally have fun with it. I love brooches, bracelets.
So out of all the different elements of tiki, what is your favorite part of it then?
That's hard. Probably, I think the decor and the fashion. The drinks are fun, but I really can't drink very much, so. Yeah. And the music, though, it's just everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I first
Well, I
discovered
like
Exotica, I
the
got
immersion.
that Martin Denny Quiet Village album. I was like, wow, this looks tiki. I took it home and played it, and I was like, wow. Because the other stuff I was getting was a symphony orchestra stuff, and I was like, oh god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like surf. I'm finding more surf that I like, but man, I love the Exotica stuff.
No, it's funny. It's like when it comes to say the late the 50s, early 60s. I mean, I was a punk rocker. Well, I still am a punk rocker, and like one of my favorite punk rock bands, like the Ramones, right? Mm-hmm. And it's like they covered like California Sun, Surf and Bird, all these. And it's sort of like, then you hear like the original versions of these songs, and like, oh, well, this is cool too. It's a lot of my connections to like the mid-century comes from like my interest in punk rock, because they were borrowing a lot of elements of those like 50s and 60s bands. Mm-hmm. And I remember like a lot of the, like 60s, like a lot of the retro surf bands that started coming around in the 90s. They're wearing fezzes, some of them were wearing Hawaiian shirts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's like it's a connection between the both. So when did you guys decide to build your own tiki bar? Because that is it's a big thing to be like, well, we're into this tiki stuff, but like, let's make our own.
My one friend had a tiki bar in the basement. Not tiki bar. We had a bar in the basement. I always wanted to have a bar in the basement. And
So
we moved into the place, and we had the place, and I was like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, so we moved in together, and then we moved like a year later to another house that had a basement.
A rental.
So that was it.
Yeah.
I mean, he had the space, and he just went with it, and that's
So
when
anything
we went.
bamboo, anything that was a shell, anything, and I just kept buying stupid stuff. And
He
I
went to
just,
Goodwill almost every day.
Yeah.
So you're the picker,
Yeah.
and you're the yes or noer. But can I get this?
Well-
Sure.
Actually, I mean, he would just come home with stuff.
He's not even asking.
Yeah, he
and
didn't
then
even ask.
Now we
It's,
have
I mean-
plastic tubs full of stuff.
So it's funny, you guys
Yeah.
would go out thrifting. I'm sure you'd like find like look at this cool old because I'm sure you love the thrift too, right?
Oh, yeah.
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 I
I
have,
found
like-
this dress at an antique mall.
Hey gang, we'll get back to the Tiki conversation here in just a second, but I want to let y'all know they have t-shirts for sale. They are screen printed in America. The artist is Tony Canepa, and they're going for $20 a piece, $25 including shipping. If you're interested in buying one, go to my website, tikiwithray.com, and then there's a tab that says buy a t-shirt. Click on there and just follow the prompts. So thank you very much.
We didn't know anybody, and we started with the tiki bar in the basement. And my first cocktail, my first Mai Tai was just horrible. I used
Rose's lime juice.
Rose's lime juice. I used almond extract.
that you bake with.
I used
Almond extract?
Bacardi. I didn't know what it was, And then I was like messing with it, and Wendy was like, I know, she was a barista, and she was like, you can get orgeat almond syrup, and so we got that. And then a friend of mine came over and was like, you need to get a book. And we got a book, the Trader Vic's, that one party book.
Yeah.
We got that, and I was able to figure out a lot more. And then he was like, first I was doing it without any measuring. I was doing the 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And he was like, man, you can't do that. That's like baking a cake without a measuring cup. You can't do that.
Yeah.
And everybody, like a bartender was over. We had like a party, and he was just like, oh God, Bob. And then so I got a book, and then Wendy's better at procedure and measuring and doing stuff. And
I like to bake.
And Wendy was just a natural at it, even though she wants to deny it. But she's a really good bartender. And,
I've had Wendy's drinks.
And she started doing it, and she got interested, and we didn't know anybody who was a bartender except for one guy who'd come in and out every once in a while. But no one. So we went to bartending school.
That was fun.
You went to bartending school?
We did. Some couples take cooking classes.
It's more than what was it?
We went to bartending school together.
Yeah.
Really?
It's a 2-week course, and you can
They charge you
do
ridiculous.
it however you want to do it, but we spread it out because we work full time.
We did
But I
once a
think we
week.
went once a week, and it took us like
2 months, I think.
so long. But it's funny because it gets you comfortable behind the bar, and now I know the difference between bourbon and Irish whiskey and
Yeah.
things like that. And
And they still call grenadine
And-
cherry.
yeah, even though there's a photo of a
Wendy's being a
pomegranate
smartass.
on the label.
She's like, but there's a picture of a pomegranate right here. No, it's cherry.
It's a pomegranate. You're like, well, they can't get everything right.
But it was fun, and it was fun for us, and it got us comfortable behind the bar. And
Yeah.
next thing you know, and then we're getting more and more cocktail books, and then we were having friends over all the time, and the
Testing out
tiki bar
drinks.
was growing, with decor because he shopped at Goodwill every day, and those were fun times.
And then we were like, we're gonna open up our own tiki bar. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna open up our own tiki bar. So we went to a planner, and we went to my banker guy.
we went to the small business.
Oh, you're talking about opening up like a commercial TV.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, wow, okay.
we started really getting into it and thought we might do that. We went to the
Well,
Small,
small
Business
one, a bar.
Association, and the guy was kind of like,
A
Well-
tiki bar.
he thought it'd be a total fail, but he told us to go down to the library and look up
Yeah.
stuff.
To get a plan, to
and,
get a business plan.
Business
Yeah, we needed to get a
plan
business
and
plan together. We didn't know
all
what
this
we're
stuff.
doing.
So then
And-
we got the idea.
Then I talked to my banker guy, and he was like, you know what you should do, just to figure out if you want to do it or not, is go into a bar and just do a tiki night. And that was a great idea. So we went to the local, I call it the CBGBs of Indianapolis, the Melody Inn. Went there, and we did a Thursday night at night. And but it was horrible because
It was a Thursday night.
everybody that's into tiki is a lot older, and they have a job, and the music is, we can't find very
No,
many.
so what would you do? You'd kind of like do a tiki takeover of the place?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a back room, a real
Just
small
the back room.
And you'd be making the drinks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And we
decorate
would-
it.
And then you'd play like Exotica music and surf music and shit.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
We'd
that's
have
awesome.
live bands.
They had a room that was probably like half the size. It was real small. You could
Okay.
fit like maybe 20 people in, maybe 20 people in there. There was
Yeah.
2 booths and 2 chairs at the bar, and yeah.
We did it once a month for a year, and it was just the 2 of us.
Yeah.
And we would haul in a van load of
All this stuff,
decor.
yeah.
Oh, so you
All the decor would set up and tear down the same night.
You would decorate it too.
Yeah.
Damn.
The whole room, we would totally transform
Yeah.
it. And it felt very much like this.
I had netting on the ceiling,
And
Oh my god.
and I have
it
a
was-
video playing on the TV.
he would make
black
the
and white.
flyers and book the
Yeah.
bands and
So you'd start having bands
And-
then.
Yeah, they were
Yeah,
out in
we
the front
always-
room. They were out in the front room,
Oh,
but we
man.
had.
Well,
the
how long
back
did
room
this go on
For
for?
a year.
1 year.
And then
We did it once a month for 1 year.
Yeah.
that's awesome.
We like started at noon.
Tiki night at the mill.
Start at noon. Go get the lemons and limes.
Yeah, we
and
did all our own fresh squeezed juices.
then
We
go-
made all our own syrups.
They
We did
bought the liquor and
grenadine.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, we used the liquor.
And then we
through the
come home
bar.
about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and then have the van full, and just like not go to work the next day, and have to get all that lemon. The van would just
Sticky.
smell of lemon and everything was sticky. Get all that crap back out. It got a year was enough.
It got exhausting. It
It
was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a big
And-
learning experience.
That's how we met
Yeah, other tiki people.
other tiki people.
Yeah.
So it brought the people out, and then
Yeah.
they soon became our friends,
Yeah.
and that involved into forming a chapter,
Yeah.
the FOM chapter.
Fraternal
And-
Order of Moai.
Yep. And then after that, our event turned into an annual event called the Makahiki,
The Makahiki.
a night of tiki.
Yep.
I came up with that.
You did? I thought I did.
And so that was more fun in a way because it wasn't as exhausting as trying to do
Yeah.
it every month.
Yeah, we
and
can do
we
the
had
plan for
more-
a year.
We had more help
Mhm.
with friends in the club, and we could do it on a Saturday,
Mm-hmm.
and we could book bigger, better bands. And the last one we did was the best of all because we had the whole shebang. We had buffet luau food, like the full luau. We had
Vendors.
vendors, we had bands, we had
Damn.
a silent auction, and at
Video-
our tiki event, we bartend and make each drink to order, unlike other tiki events we've
Yeah.
been to.
I think we're the only drink they would do. Only event that would make their own drinks instead of batching them and then
yeah.
pouring.
That's
them.
hardcore.
Most events we've gone to have been batch
Of some sort,
drinks,
some way they batched
which is
it.
okay,
But
but
the lemon juice just kind of, I think it
something
turns.
sours after a while.
Yeah.
And that was kind of our thing. We just really wanted to make the drink to order. And I found that a lot of people actually, it's all part of the experience. People enjoy, like, watching you, like, what's she putting in there, and then the whole shaking it.
Yeah.
They seem to enjoy that.
So the only thing that was going on as far as Tiki was concerned was your Tiki nights that you were doing, and then your event. And all through this time, there wasn't any real Tiki bars in Indianapolis, right?
Right.
And then finally, one did open up.
Yes.
Yes, and
finally.
I was
Inferno Room.
so
The
afraid.
Inferno Room.
I was so afraid they were going to have plastic and it would look like a beach bar, and they would do faux drinks with the grenadine, and no, there's no, you can't see LED lights, you can't see, screen, the computer screens, and
Chris and Ed.
Yeah.
Chris and Ed, yep,
It's a
they
great
did a
place.
great
We're
job.
so happy to have
Everything
them.
is spot on. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I saw pictures of the Inferno Room online, and it was one of those things where, like, I got to go there. I've never been to Indianapolis, and I got to go. And I'll tell you this, guys. I mean, like, I'll plead ignorance. It's sort of like I've known of Indianapolis, but I've really never thought that it's like any place that would be a destination for me. But now that I've been here a couple times and hanging out with the tiki scene in Indianapolis, going to the Inferno Room, it's like this is a hot spot. This is like a tiki hot spot, and it seems to me like from your story that you guys kind of started it. Your interest and love kind of brought a lot of people into the tiki scene here in town, and you're keeping it going. But I'll tell you what, friends and family out there, if you're going on any kind of tiki traveling, you got to come to Indianapolis. And you got to reach out to these two.
You can stop by our bar.
Call first.
Call first.
If you don't, yeah.
Yeah, you're knocking on their door like, who's that, Bob? I don't know. But they're wearing a law
Looking
shirt.
through the Ring app. There's these people.
I hear there's Tiki in there.